where exactly are you calling in from? Because I understand it's a pretty big deal, and not just because you're in space right now.
Awesome. We're trying out something new today. We're on the International Space Station, of course, but we're in the Cupola, which is one of the astronauts' favorite places to hang out. It's a 7-windowed environment on the bottom of the space station. So when you see us, we kind of look upside down to the Earth. That's how we come in. Our head is going down towards the Earth, and we get to look out and see our beautiful Earth through these 7 windows. In the view right now, you're seeing 4 of those windows. And as we go through this conversation, we get to see a dynamic event, which is sunset. I could take days and days to describe it, which is one of the reasons that drives me to do so much photography, because just trying to capture what we see. But super excited to have you from the Cupola today.
Awesome. Yeah. And I understand it took some like special equipment, some new window filters to make this possible. Could you tell me more about why that is?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly bright. In fact, right now, as we're going to sunset, if you're watching on video, the sun is coming up on the right-hand side of my face. It's really bright as we get close to sunset. And through the course of our conversation today, we'll go from full day to full night, and it will see the darkness, the terminator, we call it, the day and night transition come over the top of me. And so I'm going to just close one of our shutters right now to protect the right side of my face from the searing sun and turn on the light. But the Cupola is really bright, and we recently got something shipped up to us called neutral density filters, and there's these little films that we put over the windows, and for photography nerds, these are 4 stops. So these provide 4 stops of exposure change that we're able to put in front of the windows to help expose for pictures. We want to take a picture of something both inside the Cupola, but also be able to see the Earth on the outside. So we're trying that out today.
Our mission continues to go incredibly well. Our crew is healthy as we prepare and gear up to fly by the moon tomorrow. We're all extremely excited for tomorrow. We got a couple of great images that I want to share with you today, along with all of the great stuff that's available online. But we've got a few things I wanted to share this evening. We have a short video with some of what yesterday included. If we could pull up this video, it's got a lot of cool information in it. Can we see that?
This is Artemis Mission Control. You're getting a live look inside the Orion spacecraft, named Integrity by the Artemis II crew.
This is a magnificent accomplishment to be up here, to see the moon, to see the Earth, and to know that we are between those 2 celestial bodies, and you can see it when you look out the window. The Earth is almost in full eclipse, the moon is almost in full daylight, and the only way you could get that view is to be halfway between the 2 entities. It is truly awe-inspiring up here.
And Houston, we have some Earth and Moon viewers here who are putting in requests for different motions so that they can see things in the window.
We're seeing them in the camera views, and we're enjoying it. Look at those scientists go.
And Jackie, we got Jeremy on there just for a minute before his PAO event. He's just got to look at this. As soon as I put my hands on the 400, it's just... I'm not one for hyperbole, but it's the only thing I could come up with. Just seeing Tycho, there's mountains to the north. You can see Copernicus, Rainier Gamma. It's just everything from the training, but in 3 dimension, and absolutely unbelievable. This is incredible.
Kathy Moonjoy.
In Houston, I can tell you that Christina now has the 400 millimeter, and she also is the queen of hyperbole. It's incredible.
Kathy, Christina doing her best Reed impression at the window.
I love that. And I also really love how they talk about being able to see in 3 dimensions. Just helps remind us all that what we can do with our amazing human eyes is be able to see in stereo vision and get that depth perception. It's just wonderful to hear them talking through what their observations are. And I'm sure you'll hear from Kelsey about how well they've learned all their training, being able to tell us exactly the features they're looking at. We also woke up the crew today with a short a message from Apollo astronaut Charlie Duke cheering them on, and I think we get to listen to that here. Is that available?
Hello, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. This is Apollo 16 astronaut Charlie Duke. John Young and I landed on the moon in 1972 in a lunar module we named Orion. I'm glad to see a different kind of Orion helping return humans to the moon as America charts the course to the lunar surface. Below you on the moon is a photo of my family. I pray it reminds you that we in America and all of the world are cheering you on. Thanks to you and the whole team on the ground for building on our Apollo legacy with Artemis. Godspeed and safe travels home.
Wonderful. And then I had one last image there I think I saw come up for just a moment. This was another picture of Earth from Orion's window, and it really gives you a sense of just how far away the crew is from Earth. This was taken earlier today by Christina. I just think it's beautiful. So we're really gearing up now for what's going to be an exciting lunar flyby tomorrow. Our flight operations team and our science team are ready for the first lunar flyby in more than 50 years. I know you guys have asked questions, and we've heard them over and over.
Targeting plan. This is what's going to guide the crew's observations during the flyby. It is just a guide. They are the field scientists, and they are encouraged to, go off book if what they're seeing in front of them really compels them. We've even built in targets specifically for crew choice, where they can really image what pops out to them. And so what you see here is what the crew will be looking at for the entirety of the flyby tomorrow. You see on the left side a list of sort of targets that listed vertically in the top left of the screen. Those are the targets in the timelined order we're asking them to image them in. And they're in a specific order because ultimately these targets trace back to our lunar science objectives. We have 10 lunar science objectives for this mission. All of them are covered in the targets in tomorrow's targeting plan, and they're in that order down the left side that you can see. The bottom left has the words that explain the significance of the target, as well as the prompts of what we're asking the crew to image and describe. So we have distinct prompts for the person that will be using the camera that's outfitted with an 80 to 400 millimeter zoom lens. And then we also have prompts for the person that's going to be looking at the moon at the time with the unaided eye, just using their eyes to describe what they see. Along the bottom is a cue card as a reminder of what should go into their science descriptions. I would expect they're not going to need to reference the cue card that much because they've had many, many months to practice giving good descriptions. And then, of course, the middle, the moon, the picture of the moon, this is to help guide them into the specific target that they're going to be describing and imaging at the time. You see specific labels called out to help them, provide geographic references for their descriptions. And you also see the previous target and the next target highlighted in different colors. So this is the piece of software that the crew will be looking at. And if you go to the next picture, Rick referenced yesterday that one of the activities that the crew did yesterday was to review that plan. And we just totally oohed and awed in the science evaluation room when we saw them studying in Orion. So there is Victor Glover studying the lunar targeting plan on his tablet, his crew tablet. All 4 crew had time to study that yesterday, and they'll also have a little bit of time to review it tomorrow morning. Got some questions yesterday on how the crew trained, so I just wanted to show a couple images to highlight that. So the first image is actually when they got the flight-like hardware, the 2 Nikon cameras that will form the basis of the bulk of their flyby tomorrow. And we actually put visualizations of the moon at the right distance away from them in a facility over in Building 36 here at the Johnson Space Center, and actually had them practice giving descriptions and taking pictures. We actually did that several times with them. And if you go to the next chart, we also put them in and near the Orion mock-up, the medium fidelity mock-up we have here at the Space Vehicle mock-up facility here at the Johnson Space Center, and actually had them get inside of Orion and actually look out the window at a giant inflatable moon globe we hung from the ceiling, so they could practice that physical choreography they needed to inside of Orion before their flyby. And so the last thing that I'll end with is actually showing a video that I showed yesterday. So if you could play that. This is tomorrow's flyby in 60 seconds. So what tomorrow will look like is a roughly 5-hour period where the crew will be observing the illuminated surface of the moon. In response to the question I got yesterday, the 2 Apollo sites they'll be able to see here at the beginning are the Apollo 12 and 14 landing sites. As they progress through the several-hour period where the moon is illuminated, they'll continue to work through that targeting plan. Again, each target is based on on our lunar science objectives, and they'll be able to see how the moon is changing throughout their time observing it. They, of course, will have a period that you can find the exact timing on NASA's websites, and we have it here as well, where there's a loss of signal after Earth disappears from view and before it reappears in Earthrise on the other side. They'll continue their science observations during that time. Then, of course, about an hour later, we have this really unique opportunity to observe an eclipse from the vantage point of Orion, where the sun disappears behind the moon from the vantage point of the Integrity crew, and they'll be able to observe the solar corona, but right around sunset and sunrise. They'll also be able to take pictures of several planets that will be visible in view. That includes Earth, of course, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. They'll also be able to look for potential Earth shine effects, which is literally the illuminated Earth shedding glow onto the near side of the moon. We've got a jam-packed plan for them tomorrow, and it ultimately all traces to our science objectives. Thanks.